think I hit the record button. Of course, we can't be like fully dialed in when Kyle is live in Nashville, Brentwood, Tennessee, in front of the EV Auto in construction spot. We're talking about EVs, talking about Nashville, talking about tariffs, talking about the Music City, talking about Gen Z, talking about the fact that Kyle's got a backwards hat on.
I got
at
a backwards
8:46
hat.
Central Time.
We had this is a wild day for an at-home worker when you have to get out of the house at 6:45 to be on location, hanging out. We don't have Alex Lawrence here yet. He's probably still sleeping in because he doesn't like to work hard, which is totally fake news. But behind me is the brand new EV Auto Brentwood. They're already selling cars out of here. Actually, if we could show you, they've got like one of those trailers. They got about 30 cars out here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Nathan's gonna.
I see the camera. I see the camera with like right now in the back. Oh,
there it is.
There's a bunch of EVs on that lot. There's a trailer.
Bunch of Teslas. We got a Rivian up here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. We got the trailer. They're selling like 1 to 2 cars a day out of a trailer. The remodel is happening behind us. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna later today be hanging out with Alex, his team, get a little bit of like behind the scenes, what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna feel like. So we'll probably bring you that conversation tomorrow. But we figured we'd stop by early morning since we got the opportunity before we head on and do the rest of the stuff we're going to do today.
I love that so much. Also, you weren't going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about it. You and Nathan, our producer, our head of production, are in town.
Yes.
In Nashville, visiting our good close friends that are kind of our co-conspirators with ASOTUCON. If you've seen the booth setups and you've seen so much of the signage, a company called Soft Space, they work with a lot of industry partners already, but we're going deep with them and we're on site visiting. It's always fun to visit a facility where they just make cool stuff like that game day desk that we have. They made it here. So you guys are going to be hanging out with them because you know what we're doing already? We're already making ASOTUCON 26 unbelievable in September. Right. And it's not until May, which is probably a great time to say, circle the week after Mother's Day on your calendar, because that's ASOTUCON week. We'll give you the exact dates. It's really Tuesday through Thursday, but circle the dates because you need to be there this year. And when we announce, now you have no excuse saying, I already had something booked.
Yeah, and I'm excited because like how it's made behind the scenes, like, look at like how a build is happening and what happens when what does it take to get NADA ready, because they're already building for NADA this year, which is wild to me.
We're there, man. We are so there. All right, let's talk about some news. Automakers have kept price hikes at bay despite billions in tariff-related costs from the Trump-era trade war, but the pressure is building and price increases may be just around the corner. Automakers like GM and Ford are absorbing up to $5 billion and $3 billion respectively in tariff-related costs. Despite this, MSRPs have remained relatively flat, up less than 1% between March and August per Edmunds. Some costs are being quietly passed along via other types of fees, like delivery fees, which have jumped almost 9% to $1,507. Analysts expect prices to gradually increase as tariffs stick, with a focus on shifting them to the more profitable model. So leaving the base models more unaffected, the more profitable models bearing the brunt. Hyundai's Randy Parker says, quote, our priority remains ensuring that we're competitive through affordability.
Yeah, it's interesting kind of if you don't know how kind of an MSRP plus destination and then final MSRP works, you have that kind of like base MSRP, then any factory installed or port installed accessories right after it. And then you have the destination charge. And that's what they're talking about, seeing kind of things creep up. They're pushing those elements into the destination charge, which in reality to the dealer, to the end user, they're seeing in that final MSRP. So we are seeing final MSRPs grow just gradually, step by step, but they're not taking it fully on the chin. This is still interesting to me, whether or not they believe that they're just going to be able to ride the wave and see something new come into play when it comes to tariffs, or if we're going to see a timeline where maybe it coincides with yesterday we saw the Fed drop rates. Maybe it coincides with enough rate drops to kind of go, okay, we can raise prices because consumers won't feel it on the back end when it comes to financing. That's what I kind of see coming is all the OEMs kind of buying time on supply, demand, interest rates, and final payment. But still wild to see how much the OEMs feel like they're taking it on the chin right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you're right. I think the offset could be in play already, where the interest rates and the tariffs offset on affordability. But, who knows? We'll see how it's playing out. The strategy of pushing it toward the higher margin items. Typically, cost is less of a factor, 2-3% less of a factor on those level vehicles than it is on the base level vehicles. So it sounds like we got some smart people making some good decisions to me.
We got some smart people making good decisions. I like
Speaking of smart people making good decisions,
come on.
Segue
time. How excited are you about this? Waymo has announced a new partnership with Lyft to launch robotaxi service in Nashville.
Come on.
Public access planned for next year, 2026. The collaboration reflecting a growing trend in autonomous mobility partnerships. Basically, testing of Waymo's all-electric self-driving Jaguar I-Pace vehicles begins in the coming months. Lyft is going to manage fleet services via its FlexDrive subsidiary, including maintenance and depot operations. Riders will first access the vehicles through the Waymo app, with Lyft integration following closely behind. The deal is mirroring Waymo's agreement with Uber, but gives users more choice in how to hail rides. Here's a quote from Takedra Mawakana, the co-CEO of Waymo, says, "We're excited to partner with Lyft again to bring our Waymo driver to more people."
Yeah, I mean, this is huge for Nashville. Just if you know Nashville, the downtown is a very city block oriented driving pattern. And so I can see why mapping to a city like that makes a ton of sense. It's also a very transient city where you see a lot of people coming in for large events. We do struggle with Uber and Lyft just from a capacity perspective when you see large events. So a company like Waymo seeing that market share opportunity is very, very clear. My interest is, hey, how far outside the city can they go? And can I get to the airport from my house with that thing so I don't have to pay for parking anymore? Because that would be absolutely amazing. But I'm super pumped. This may actually make me okay with going downtown a little bit, because it gets a little Riley up in there.
It does. I've heard about that. I mean, I've still yet to ride in one. You've ridden in some of these.
Maybe it'll be in Nashville.
That's what I was just gonna say. I would love it if my first Waymo ride is in Nashville with you and I going downtown to meet up with Al Kutri.
Oh, see,
I mean, the whole picture is just shaping up super well. I wonder if Al would probably ride in one. I don't know. He gets weird about stuff sometimes.
That's true. He would do it. He would do it.
He would do it. I think he would.
So much fun.
I know. All right, let's go. I don't have a good segue to the next one, but we're just going to talk a little bit of retail news and Gen Z. Mental health is quickly becoming Gen Z's top priority, outpacing physical health and academics. Retailers are responding by centering campaigns around well-being, using purpose-driven strategies to build trust and authentically engage young consumers. Pacific Somewhere, or PacSun now for the younger generation. We were Pacific Somewhere, but it's gone now. Their youth report found that 42% of Gen Z consumers rank mental health as their top life priority. Lululemon's research showed 89% of those with well-being burnout cite loneliness, and many feel overwhelmed by mixed wellness advice. LL Bean and Mental Health America found 79% of respondents say outdoor time improves mental health. And Dunnhumby data shows that Gen Z prioritizes mental health more than any other previous generation, period. Here's a quote from American Eagle's Jennifer Foyle. "We have a unique opportunity to engage and to help them prioritize mental health." So a little insight into what all of our Gen Z buyers are thinking.
Well, and what I think relates a lot to this is how you communicate, how you engage with this type of persona in a retail market, right? What does it look like to say, "I've got you," to Patrick Abad's conversation, right? That's a solidifying, like centralizing alignment with "You're going to be okay. I've got you" in this retail environment, in a purchase process that is high risk, high costs. How can we reassure people that we are for them, that they can be comfortable in our presence? What elements of a salesperson's cadence and follow-up or in showroom activity can give someone the essence, the feeling of, I have a professional, I have someone that cares for me right in front of me? Those things are going to be super important when it comes to relating to Gen Z, especially because the other thing that we've read about Gen Z over and over and over is they are prioritizing in-person experience. So how do we give them the confidence to be in person with us, to know that they're surrounded by professionals and that they're there to care for them? What things can we talk about, understand? And I think it's even like train your people on the psychology of human behavior and how interactions make a lot of sense there. These are things that are just good general practice, but with that kind of generation coming of age, all the more important.
You know, my brand messaging marketing mind is exploding with opportunity when I read this,
so much,
because I've never heard a dealership talk about mental health as being like contributing to your mental health, being a part of the sales process, or tying it to the freedom that comes with having your own space in a vehicle. I think that dealerships could easily lean into this as campaigns, feature Gen Z in these campaigns, talking about mental health, talking about why it's so important, and then how this dealership or this offering or this way of buying or this type of vehicle can contribute to mental health. Like this is one of those times
if I'm single point of contact, one price, I am leaning all in, low anxiety purchase. Yep.
Absolutely. And this is one of those times when all of the data sends us a very, very clear message, and it says prioritizes it over academics, over physical well-being, right? More than any other generation. All of these from the retailers who are paying very precise attention, and they can actually measure in a much more precise way how these messaging affects purchasing, because they're selling jeans, right? They're selling $20 and $30 and $40 items, and they can measure it, monthly, right? We have this campaign, here's how it affects. And so I think this is a great leading indicator that we should lean into as an industry. And even when it comes to working and employment, I mean, there's nothing really more of a more than cars mindset moment than this study. So we hope that you all lean into it. Listen, I hit the wrong button. But Kyle's in Nashville. He's going to be with Alex Lawrence. He's going to be at Soft Space. He's going to be in the sun with Nathan, our head of production. But here's the deal. Take care of the people in your life. We will see you here tomorrow morning.